Hello, Jerion. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being the first one here. Can you hear me well? Just let me know if it's hard for you to hear me or not. Oop. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, just yeah, let me know if it's hard for you to hear me. Okay, I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to come in. I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to come in. Because it usually takes a few minutes for people to come in. But yeah, I was expecting well, at least two people in particular. Uh let me but and I'm streaming from my phone again. The last stream we did, I did it from my phone too, partially because we just got a whole bunch of views uh from me doing it from my phone, which is interesting. Okay, if anyone is commenting, I cannot see comments. Things are slowing down a bit. Let me. Okay, hold on. Jerion, are you there? Okay, I'll wait for more people to come in. I just see two people came in. I'll wait a few minutes. Oh, eight people now. Excellent. I'll wait a few minutes. Okay, I'll wait a few minutes. And again, everyone who's coming in, I'm doing this from my phone, partially because for some reason, last time we did it on the phone, the views and the outreach concerning the algorithm went out higher because of that. So, and if you hear anything in the background, that's a heating device and fan. But can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me well? I just want to make sure. If anyone is commenting, I can't see. Okay, it went back down to two. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let me try something. Can everyone still hear me? Can everyone still hear me? Well, I'll start in about 2 minutes. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, wait. Can anyone hear me now? 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 Okay. Steal a brain rot. I've never heard of that. Um, no, that's fine. That was just audio issues. But thank you, Kasim built different. Thank you for that question. Okay. Well, hopefully you enjoy Still a Brain Rot. Okay. I'll start in 1 minute. Oh, Carly Quinlan. Are you asking how do I go live? Well, this time from my cell phone, but I also did that last time as well. Okay. Well, again, nice to meet you, Sid. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Oh, hello, Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Striker. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. Um, I'll let the first go ahead and say, and this is T. Um, nice to meet you as well. I was like to go ahead and say thank you everyone for coming and listening and viewing the new live stream that the Dogs Board is doing that I'm hosting that I'm having. Well, this isn't going to be too long, like mine's usually aren't. But we just as a reminder for those who don't know, we have these live streams whenever we reach certain milestones for the Dogs Board, for the business. The last one we had this year was for reaching over 100,000 views on YouTube. So I'm very thankful and happy for that, for everyone who's helped us reach that. I'm forever grateful for that. And but this live stream is for us now being over 400 subscribers on YouTube, which I honestly never would have thought that that would have happened. You know, okay, I'm very, 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 very sorry about that, everyone. I'm very, 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 very sorry. Hold on, just a moment. Okay, so let's get back to it. Had to put back on my jacket. Okay, so that was over dramatic, but I wanted to put my stream suit back on, so I apologize about that. Um, but just to continue off or to continue where I left off, um, I never would have thought that we would have ever went over 400 subscribers on any platform, but specifically YouTube. Um, a lot of it is really to the shorts. As everyone knows, I'm and thank you for coming, Crystal. Crystal Zairati. Okay, but everyone knows I'm. It's not that I dislike the shorts, but we put uh the mission of what the Dog Sport do and our creative pursuits above fiscal pursuits, even though the fiscality, the monetary aspects of what we do is still very important, but that goes secondary to our mission, which I've stated several times, but also our creative pursuits. The shorts are an example of I don't really enjoy doing them as much as the other things that we do, partially because the shorts dilute, in my opinion, uh, the meaning and information that we put out, especially the shorts that I make. But because of the algorithm, because of how we illustrate the projects, be it the written work we do, the interviews we do, and the shorter videos or long form videos, but depending on the platform, it changes. We do not get the metrics, the numbers that a lot of people have told me that they think that we should get. And make a long story short, because I talked about this before, um, the main event that caused for us to start making the shorts was people remember the River City Wrestling Convention interviews that we did in 2019, and for various reasons. And I know both Jerion and Striker, who are watching this now, I know they felt more upset about it than I did, ironically, because those interviews took them longer than they should have to come out, which was out of my control. And let's just say a lot of things for the Dogs board was cut and scarred behind those set of interviews coming out uh, almost 2 years after they were supposed to. I put a lot of time, money, and effort in organizing things to even make them happen in the first place, and even more so into trying to make sure they came out. Well, they were supposed to come out in summer of 2019. They wound up didn't come out until summer of, into the winter of 2020, December more specifically of 2020. And by that time, I've already did the vast majority of the marketing, more than a year before that. I've talked to so many different people with them impending to them come out. I even got in contact. I'm not going to detail very big about that. About, let's say, somebody who was notable within certain spaces concerning someone who I did interview. I'll just leave it at that. And that would have gotten our name out much larger if they would have came out when they were supposed to. I waited just about 9 to 10 months after those interviews came out, because those were our first in-person interview, live action interview, to quote myself. And I wanted to see if they were going to pick up traction, or if they were going to get even 1/10 the level of which they should have gotten if they would have came out how they were supposed to. And they didn't. So in order for the Dogs board to grow monetarily and really just numbers wise as a whole, I bit the bullet and I did the shorts. And from then on, we primarily have been making shorts. and the shorts are responsible primarily for us to get to 400 subscribers from like 30, and for us to get over 100,000 views instead of like 200 views in total. So I'm thankful for that. But before I continue, does anyone have any questions or anything they would like to say about that? Okay, I'm not muted, am I? Okay. Perfect. I just want to make sure because I've been having some technical issues. Um, like I, the craziest part about all of it, um, about how we got the 400 subscribers is that I literally didn't think that we would have gotten it before the year was out. But as those you know, our most recent biggest project that we've done is the yearly horror month project that we do. And it's been a lot more successful because I transitioned to doing shorts instead of primarily written biographies, which again, people know how much I love reading and writing. I wish that I could focus a lot more time like I used to on our reading projects, but alas, they don't get the eyes and ears that they necessarily should, even from a baseline level to the lowest common denominator. So, but that project went well this year, the Horror Month project. Not only did it do well, it did the best in the history of the Dogs Board. So, it broke several records, especially when it came to the TikTok and YouTube platforms. So, again, I thank you all again for that. I thank you all again for that. Um, a lot of people may not understand because I have to change my creative process when making the shorts. Depending on the short, or really almost the majority of them, they can be harder to work on than, let's say, a 5 to 15 minute video for me, because of how I have to change the creative process and do the audio and how I edit it. And how I have to kind of limit um, what I cover. Because, most of the shorts we do when it comes to the history shorts, be it Black history, fictional Black history, uh, fictional history, horror history, all of those different projects we do, or the shorts we do, I had to limit myself to only do 2 points for each of those shorts. I didn't want to, but again, the overall for the shorts, the shorter the short is and the more replayable it is, the better they usually do. So, but I don't want to necessarily compromise the structural quality. So, even though there's still 2 points per short, I still make sure I get the full piece of knowledge for each of the 2 points out, regardless. So, even if it means, let's say it would do better as a 13-second short, but I make it a 29-second or 35-second, then I'm going to do the 29 or 35-second. But let me ask you, for the few people that are here, what was your favorite horror month short that I did last month, that we released last month? Yeah, I'll wait a few more seconds. If anyone has if anyone is going to type their opinions out about that, I'll just wait a few more seconds. Okay, Jerry, you like Mars Attacks. I know you had commented on the YouTube post about that short, so I'm glad you enjoyed that. I enjoyed working on it too myself. And like in the comment I had put, um, yeah, Tim Burton is kind of interesting how Tim Burton directed that movie and why it's a cult classic because the even though they are pulp sci-fi horror, the trading cards from all the research I've done were very horror centric. But Tim Burton is always funny. He can take everyday things that are jovial and make it into very thriller or horror esque when it comes to the comedy. But he took Mars Attacks and made it into a very comedic thing. And his movies is a big reason why they have the perception that they do in the media. Um, so it's kind of like the Fox's version of the X-Men and Wolverine. How a lot of people's perception of Wolverine is because of those films. So, and they base their perception and how he should be in all projects, good or bad, off of that. But I'm glad you enjoyed that, Jerion. I'm very glad you enjoyed that. I enjoyed working on it. I enjoyed working on it. But actually, let me ask this for anyone listening. What um has been your, let's say, your favorite themed month that or themed events that we've done? If you had to choose between, let me leave the horror month out of it. Oh, you know what? I remember that scene too, Jerion. If I think the scene you're talking about, and yes, it was. But you know what? That's kind of the thing with that film is that it's one of those films that you can watch again and again, and a lot of times still have the same reaction to it. It may be more of a subdued reaction, but you'll have the same reaction. But let me ask everyone this: and I'll leave the horror month out of this because it technically isn't fair. Out of the Black History Month project we do, the Juneteenth week project that we do, and we just started this year as well, the Black Music Month project that we do, what has been everyone's favorite? Actually, I can make a poll about that. Actually, hold on. Hopefully, it'll let me do it. Huh? It's not letting me do it. Okay, but yeah. What was everyone's favorite? I think mine's honestly would have to be just because of it's very specific. Mine's would have to be the Black Music Month. As of now, it changes because if you asked me last year, I would say Juneteenth week, but Black Music Month. To me, because it's not just necessarily challenging to work on, but just seeing. Okay, right. You choose music too. Just seeing, because my hierarchy is that I overall enjoy is Black Music Month, um, Juneteenth week, and Black History Month. But specifically for Black Music Month, I just love how intertwined music is with everything. We created modern music, Black people. So it's just interesting to seeing how history twists and like I said, is intertwined within so much when it comes to music. Be it the different producers, the different singers, writers, performers, musicians, Rick James, all the way to the Isley Brothers. You know, Jimi Hendrix. I know Striker enjoyed the one on the Isley Brothers because primarily because it featured Jimi Hendrix. Like a lot of people didn't realize that Jimi Hendrix, he's this big rock and roll legend, especially for him to be a black man. You know, he's influenced so many black men and women to go into rock music or just really guitar usage as a whole and guitar playing. But he started off with the Isley Brothers. And a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people did not know that. So me being able to put that information out there, you know, that puts a smile on my face. That puts a smile on my face to do that. So I'm glad. Jerry, so which Black Music Month one did you enjoy the most? Because I've been told people like, in particular, the one I did on Outcast, which I enjoyed that as well. And I want to also say this too, because I know he's, for those who don't know, he's been busy for the past few weeks. But you know, none of this would be possible without the hip hop historian who also helps run the Dogs board. The hip hop historian, you know, I still have to bring this up. You know, him transitioning from doing his hip hop content that he regularly does to doing things on the film industry. It has been a pretty interesting change, but it has worked out great for him from a creative standpoint, and I'm happy about that. And you know, it's funny because I also this too. That's also part of the reason why I started doing the Black Music Month project. Um, it's partially because I know how much he enjoyed um doing. Okay, I'll come on that jury in just a moment. I know how much he enjoyed doing his hip hop, his government and politics and history concerning hip hop writing pieces that he did. I enjoy reading them. I have learned so much about hip hop code and rap music just from just his pieces that he's done, let alone the dozens that he's done. Um, and I just wish more people, with all of our work, but particularly with his, paid more attention to reading it. So the Black Music Month and me creating that, me implementing that, a large influence of that was his projects, was his work. Um, you know, since he stopped doing that, since he put the pen in that for his legendary run, for his writing, for his hip hop writing pieces, you know, as a homage to, you know, just black people in black music as a whole, and also as a homage to what he did for all of those years. That's also a big, let's say, reasoning behind why I started doing this year the Black Music Month project, which, like I said, has been the best first month we've ever had for a project like that I've done. Like, we got record breaking subscriber numbers for that time of the year, and also, you know, the views, because over 160,000 views in total now, which is insane. Because our highest viewed video period on the YouTube channel is ironically another black music and also nerd culture centric video, which, you know, nerd culture, my bread and butter, was the short I made concerning the tribute that Marvel Comics did about MF Doom after his passing for the first issue of the current Doctor Doom solo comic series. Yeah, that is. I think that's over 19,000 total views, which is insane. I thought it would have gotten that much again, but thank you everyone for that. I can't keep saying that, or I can keep saying it because it's the truth. Um, so that one does well. Also, but just to, I'm gonna put a in that. But for Jurion, I'm glad that you enjoyed the Mary J. Blige short. Um, yeah, I enjoyed doing it myself. I enjoyed doing it myself. Um, since I did one previously as well, I definitely enjoyed working on that one. Um, it's interesting to seeing how, especially for her from a music standpoint in terms of the quality of it, how she's maintained her overall sound quality when it comes to just the producing and the producer that she's gotten over the years. She's one of those artists where, to me, I understand people like shows and performances, but when it comes to music, and especially like with live performances, I some I don't a lot of times want for them to perform the songs just like they do on the radio. A lot of times I like for them to add like different spins to the songs live. Like, for example, I saw Al Green live in New York City years ago. Al Green, he changed up the tempo for one of his slower songs in a medley of his most popular songs, and it completely changed the type of song it was in terms of his tone, and it worked. Al Green also sounds much better live than he does even on the radio all these decades later. Another example would be like with Prince, right? When Prince, he was the producer, the creator of Morris Day in the time. Hearing their my favorite song that they've done, Jungle Love. It has a certain tone tempo, uh has a medium tempo actual term, but that's what I say. But in Purple Rain, in the Purple Rain movie, the song is sped up by several times. And again, almost no other version of that of a performance that I've seen is as fast as the Purple Rain version that came out before that movie did or after in terms of the performances. So it just shows you how different things like that can be. And that's part of the reason why I'm not that interested in seeing a lot of concerts live, is because I want them to do, live spins to the songs. So, but so just to give some updates for everybody, what's going to happen is our next big project. Even though I still have some surprises coming out for the year, our next big project is going to actually, the next one is going to be the Black History Month project for next year, which I hope everyone enjoys, and because we will be, let's just say, doing something special with the theme for next February. It's going to be something special with the theme. Because I try to expand, if it makes sense, for everything we do. When we for our annual projects, but for that one in particular, you all are going to definitely like what we do with the theme. But also, like I said, be on the lookout for things that we're going to have coming for the rest of this year. And again, I would like to say again, because I don't know if Striker is still here, but I know that those two are here, Striker and Jurion. I would like to again thank you both for everything you've done with supporting the platforms, uh, especially with the Discord, with attending the Discord meetings, and also I want to say that too, everyone. If you want to have more detailed explanations of things, you want to ask questions, you want to give suggestions, you want to give me your opinion on things, or just have a conversation concerning different things, especially concerning the dogs board, attend our Discord meetings, because that's what the Discord meetings are for. It's for both for me to disperse information faster to you all, and in a more way, but also us to communicate. I don't have them as much because people usually don't wind up coming to them, outside of one or two people at a time. But they are still important because I go into more detailed explanation than even I do in these live streams about certain things, because they're meetings and discussions. They're made to dispense information and to collect information. But just to continue, I was just saying just a few minutes ago. Again, Jerion and Striker, I'm internally grateful for you all. I know the hip hop historian he is too. The help that you all have given us over the years, it can't really be repaid, even though I try to. You all know I try to. Um, and this wouldn't be what it is now if it wasn't for YouTube in particular. So again, kudos and like I always do. But like I said, this live stream won't be too long. One has any suggestions or anything else they want to say? Like I said, we got two new people typing in it. I expected a few more people that they were coming, but everyone gets busy and everything. But I expected a handful more people. But does anyone have any questions or anything they would like to say before I start closing things out? Actually, let me. I think I think my white jacket may be in the storage. I think it may be in the storage actually. It's funny. I wish my head was straight bald so I could do the kingpin Jerion, but it's not. It's just cut very low. But I wish it was bald so I could do that. Kingpin with glasses. Yeah, I need to get my white jacket actually. You know what, Jerion? I'm gonna definitely try to do that. Thank you for suggesting that. I'm going to try to wear my white jacket for our next live stream we do. Um, but again, everyone, this will up with it. Um, after this is over, comments, anything that people want to talk about or share again, people they can send us private messages through the different platforms, but try to do it through Discord because we want more people to join the server. Because I always tell people, the more people who participate in things, um, the more that Okay, can you still not hear me? What was the last thing you heard? Uh. Okay. Well, good night, everyone. I apologize that the audio went out. If if anyone is hearing the full version, um, or watch this in full or rewatch it or see what is it called, the restream, please comment. Please comment. Okay, but I would like to say again, good night, everyone. God bless you all. I thank you all. I thank God above all else. But again, I'm grateful to do what I do. Doc signing out.